Hello, Gemini. Welcome. Thank you for being here. This is going to be a general read, so of course everything may not resonate. Take what does and leave the rest. And for more tarot readings after this, please check out my wife's channel at Val53 Tarot. She's review as well. Thank you. All right, so let's see what's going on. Hey now. Okay. Huh. Very similar to Aries. Very similar to Aries energy here, Gemini. What is this about? Whoa. Hold on, that's interesting. I'm not quite understanding that. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. This is very similar to not only Aries, but also I feel Leo a little bit. What is that? What's going on, Gemini? This feeling a little bit similar to, like I said, Aries and Leo. So oh, that is. I believe who was it? I believe it was Aries. I'm like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. And you can show them the way, you can teach them all about it, you can show them all about it, you can even try, bring them in on something, but ultimately it has to be a choice they make for themselves. Goodness gracious. One person's determination, just jumping right in, one person's determination might be completely different than another person's determination. One person's drive might be completely different than another person's drive. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's kind of like saying, geez Louise. Two different paces. You're moving at two different paces and two different speeds. I don't know why there's an extra emphasis on, you are dealing with someone which you are kind of emphasizing as being a little bit difficult, to say the least. And you kind of feel like, you're bearing and holding the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you're kind of like, hey, I need some fucking help here. And it's just kind of like, what'd you say? You heard me. It's like one of those situations where it's like, can't you fucking see I'm struggling? Can't you see I'm like trying to, can't you just see? And it leaves you kind of wondering, like, is it actually all on you? Is it all on you? Is it all on you, Gemini, to figure this out? But on top of that, unfortunately, that old crinkly cherry on top of, is it all on you to even bring someone else in with your situation? Be like, I got it. Not only is it all on me, it's like you're running around playing all these different roles, and it's like, it's on me to do this and that and everything else. And now it's also on me to apparently say something or speak up or try to pull someone in to even help me. It's all on me. Um, your wheels are spinning, Gemini. Your wheels are spinning. This is like you're trying to check your compass. It's like the Pirates of the Caribbean example I've given. Captain Jack's compass. He's like, it points to what you want the most. Well, what happens when you don't know what you want? It just starts spinning in circles like 360. Like, okay, no direction. Um, what do I fucking do? It's funny. And through the movie, he throws the compass to someone else and he convinces them like they won something just so he can like find out the direction of where that thing is because he's not too sure like what he wants first. He's like, well, if I can convince them to want what I want, but I'm not too sure if it's what I really want, you know, he's got a whole plan to it. But anyways, he ends up finding his direction through someone else. Um, but you have heard of me. That's got to be the most god awful pirate I've heard. Sea turtles. Sea turtles. It's not what it's energetically speaking, Gemini. It's not about what you do; it's how you do it. This is kind of like saying, if you do what you love, would you do it if you didn't receive anything from it? Would you do it for free? I'm not saying do it for free, but would you do it for free? Why do you do what you do, Gemini? I'll ask you that. Why do you do what you do? Because there's so much emphasis on, interestingly enough, kind of like Sagittarius. There's so much, and Sagittarius was dealing with management, like managing of like energies and that kind of thing, work with energies, temperance. Um, you are showing me like micromanagement. Micromanagement. I mean, micro to macro. Oh my gosh. Makes me think of those old school toys, the micro machines, the little cars. Even like they're like a fourth of the size of a Hot Wheel. They're just micro machines. They're like these little damn. I haven't thought of that in some time. They're called micro machines, like these little toy cars, like tiny, like miniature figurines, but toys. I'm looking at micromanagement. You can micromanage. I don't know if you know this, Gemini. If you are a boss, CEO, or manager, you can manage things and you can manage people. But when you begin to micromanage certain things and people, it can get very complicated, especially people. No one, and I'm sure you understand this and feel the same way, Gemini, no one wants to be micromanaged. No one. No one. That'll that won't turn out very well. But more specifically, like I said, it's more important as to how you do something rather than what you do. Do you do it just because it's like I have like 1,000 chores and I have 1,000 things I need to do today, and you're just doing it like on fucking autopilot, or do you do like one thing and you're just like I absolutely love this shit? Interesting. Leo was talking about where they place and see value. You, Gemini, we're talking about how you do something rather than just doing it. Like they say, yeah, people, it's weird. People talk about like, multitasking as if it's like a skill or a talent or like something to be proud of. Like I can multitask. I got 1,000 things going on at once and nothing is done. Whereas one person that just sits down and does one thing is like, damn, that's a fucking masterpiece. So congratulations, you have 1,000 paintings, for example. You have 1,000 paintings going on at once. None of them are finished. Or one masterpiece. That is finished. Management. But you know what? Input, output, input, output. What you put in, you get. Kind of like saying if you put shit fuel or gasoline in your car, don't be surprised if it starts sputtering and acting funny. If you, oh my goodness. You're very, that's the thing, Gemini. Touche, you are very solution focused, which is a good thing. The problem is, have you ever heard the term squeaky clean? When it's like, okay, you've washed that 10 times, it squeaks. It's like too clean. Like, let it go, walk away from it. Something is too much. Like OCD. What's that called? Hypochondriac. It's like, fuck. You can scrub your skin raw because it's like clean. Stop. You need natural oils in your skin. I mean, you are who you are, Gemini. You are who you are. But it's about remembering who you are. Things do take time. You may not have it all figured out. You may not have a full, set, solid, secure plan, which I do see you're kind of winging this on the edge of your seat, which nothing wrong with that. It's just, if you're going to, interestingly enough, if you're going to, you're showing me a contradiction here, Gemini, about the different, the so-called imbalance of control and being flexible. You can't be both. It's like this energy of like either learn to dance with being flexible or deal with the rigidity of things. You can't be rigid and flexible because you're showing me you start this off so very rigid, and then it's kind of like the whole time you're like, I'm trying to be rigid and strict, but at the same time you've been winging it on the edge of your seat. That's like saying I don't advise this, it's illegal. That's like saying you're going to, for example, drive with no seatbelt. But then when you're doing what you're doing, let's just say you're in a race car or something, for the example, you're trying to like keep yourself straight and like not slide across the seat while everything's going on. That's what the seatbelt's for, to make sure you're safe and secure and in place and you don't move. But you're saying you're on the edge of your seat, for the example, with no seatbelt, and you're trying to be rigid, and it's like you're making twice the work for yourself, Gemini, than you need to. Either pick one. Either be rigid and stick to it, or be, flexible and fluid and stick to it. But the back and forth of extremes is going to drive you a little cuckoo. That's a typical thing of where they say, Jekyll and Hyde with Gemini energy. It's like this way, that way, where, mentally you want to be rigid, but emotionally you want to be more fluid and go with the flow. And so there's like this complete balance, in a sense, of opposites. My mental is rigid, my emotions are fluid. I work hard, but also when I play, watch out. An animal. It's about balance. Go figure, with that temperance energy of middle ground. A medium. A medium. I mean, you're doing what you can. Here's the thing. You're doing what you can to kind of maintain things and stabilize things. I'm not too sure what's going on moving forward, but it seems like you and someone are, in a sense, meeting in the middle. I don't know what that's about. It's a nice energy, though. It's like, you know what? Meet in the middle. Meet halfway. Because remember, it's not, geez, it's not a negotiation. if you're forcing or pushing something too much. What do they say? If you try to push or force, someone will resist. You try to micromanage, don't be shocked when something snaps or doesn't go that way that you thought it would. It's like, nope, not going to happen. This is an energy of like, can we? Jeez Louise, yeah, that goes back to that Leo energy right there. Like, what can we figure out to where it's like a win-win-win situation, and what can we do here? How can we? Oh my gosh, there's a tower. A win-win-win situation. Okay. Not so fast there, Skip. Yeah. Micromanagement can also be viewed as consuming. Now imagine that. For the example, imagine micromanaging someone to the point where it's like they're like, I can't even hear myself think. I can't even come up with an idea on my own. I can't. Now imagine someone doing that to you. I mean, just kind of, perspective wise. Imagine it's like they're telling you what to think, they're telling you what to say, they're telling you how to act, they're telling you how to move. It's like, fuck off. You did this, you did that, whatever it is. That's the response. Like, you know what? Fuck you, fuck off. Leave me alone. You're too much. You're trying to control and possess. You're too much. There's got to be some leniency and flexibility and some room and some space for the both of you can breathe and kind of you speak your side, they speak their side. There is a balance of being heard and being seen and being felt and being acknowledged, but you don't want to brush over. You don't want to brush over things. You don't want to brush over people, because when you do that, they're like, oh, so they actually don't give a shit. They don't even care. So why the fuck should I? Then before you know it, it's like, why is this all falling apart? And it's like, I thought we were in agreement. No, someone decided to skip over something and move so fast that they didn't even care to hear or listen or actually digest or take in what was being said or talked about. You talk, I listen. I talk, you listen. Let's meet in the middle. Not you talk, I talk, you talk, I talk, you talk. No, it don't fucking work. It might have to do with communication. It might have to do about communication, Gemini. Huh. Yeah. Excuse me. It comes down to communication. Listening. I've always believed it's more important to listen than it is to talk. It's always more important to listen than it is to talk. Too many people talk too much. It's more important to listen. A little bit more. I'm curious about that. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. I think we get to the bottom of this, Gemini. I think we get to the bottom of this. What's in, here's the thing. This, geez, no fucking way. No way. Hold on. This comes down to an energy of like, well, if they're not, then I'm not. You can't point a finger. You can't point a finger. If they're not, then I'm not. There you go. There you go. And then so what you're agreeing with me on, Gemini, is exactly that. This energy of you can't micromanage, you can't manage, you can't control. It's like, imagine that. You know, if it goes both ways, if it's like, it's not going to turn out well. It's not going to be good. The reason for that energy of control and management, you know, what's crazy is, oh my gosh, that is crazy. I'm not saying you're crazy, Gemini. I'm just saying the energy of how I'm kind of like putting this together. It's like, hold on, pause, hit the fucking rewind button, and go back to like what was said. There you go. There you go. Go back to it. There you go. Because that's what's interesting is there's that energy of like, wait the fuck a minute. There it is. That's that light bulb. There's that moment. Um, there's that moment right there. Because there is communication taking place, but which I do understand and I see as to why and what that is. But here's the thing, Gemini. I will point this out. What you're wondering about them. Here's the connection. The things that you wonder about them, you're actually scared of and nervous about within yourself. Interesting. Interesting. So that energy over here about control and management on them is because you feel that within yourself. That's where it's originating from yourself, from you, Gemini. I like things a certain specific way because that's how you are with yourself. Therefore, you're realizing like, damn, there's like this interesting mirror effect. It's like, can you imagine if like you're trying to control? Imagine that you're trying to control your reflection in the mirror. The only way to do that is just stand perfectly still or don't think about it. But imagine every time you move, you see the reflection in the mirror move, and you're like, what the fuck? And you don't, it's like you're trying to stop the reflection from doing what you're doing. And it's like, good luck with that. But then you punch the mirror. Don't do that. It's dangerous. Um, that comes down to energy management. It comes down to energy management, managing and working with the energies within. Kind of like I said, very similar to Sagittarius. Management, internal management of those energies, the stresses, the situations, circumstances. Um, that means you got so much going on internally, it's starting to kind of like exude and come out of you externally in your situation, your relationships, your environment. And it's kind of like, and then so what happens is when you put that energy outward outside yourself in a situation and you can't control it outside you, it feels like the energy within you is even amplified times 10. And it's like, what the fuck? And there it is. There it is. It's a negative feedback loop. It's a negative feedback loop. Yep. There's the Ace of Cups. Yeah, you know it, Gemini. You know it. It's like, there it is. It's the mind. It's the mind. That's what it is. It's the mind. It's like, oh shit. Yep. It's the mind. Your mind's playing tricks on you. I said that. I said that about in Leo's. God damn, homie, my mind is playing tricks on me. No, I actually think it's the other song. I think I'm losing my mind this time. Damn. What you resist, the typical cliche saying, what you resist persists. It's true. It's true. It's true. Um, go with the flow, Gemini. Go with the flow. Go with the flow and see where life, spirit, universe takes you. Try that one. Might surprise you. Life's full of surprises. Bye.